All right, welcome to Friday Night Lights, Week 1 here at McKenzie Stadium. We're taking a look at, we're going to watch Heritage and Fort as we get the kickoff here. It looks like Fort is going to go ahead and recover a fumble on this kick. They're going to start with the ball now.
Could not have asked for a better start to the season here.
Not for Fort, not whatsoever. That's great. So it caught me off guard. I wasn't really prepared for that to start right at the start.
All right, Fort's going to start inside Heritage territory.
We've got Logan DeWest starting under center. Not under center, but the starting quarterback here for Vancouver. Last year he lined up as tight end. He's going to go ahead and take the snap, hand it off to Cheyenne Gabriel, who's going to end up with a loss of 2.
Looks like that was Elijah Uminski on the tackle here.
So tonight, I'm Ryan Vassminer. I'm here with Kyle Bleeke. We're going to be on the call for you this year here at Evergreen Public Sports. And DeWitt is just going to go ahead and throw that one away. He didn't have any options. We've got a hinky on the play. We'll see what that calls for here.
Several Heritage defenders after him here. Are we looking at intentional grounding, you think?
Potentially, yeah.
And that picture-perfect start for Vancouver here is quickly slipping away, if that is the case.
It is. We'll see. It's early in the year. There's lots of bugs to iron out. We see it every year, week 1. You know, there's just a lot of mental mistakes from both sides. We'll see what the white hat decides here. And that is going to go ahead and be against Fort Vancouver.
Nerves definitely becoming a part of the action here already, 37 seconds into the game.
All right, Heritage is going to go ahead and decline the penalty. That's going to bring up third and 11 on Fort Vancouver's 49-yard line. DeWest has Cheyenne Gabriel sitting right behind him. DeWest drops back under pressure, and he's not going to go ahead and find his intended receiver.
Big tackle there from Nick Markarian, finding the seam and just taking down DeWest.
That's going to go ahead and that's going to bring up fourth down and 11, sitting right in the middle of the field. DeWest is still in the game, so they're going to go ahead and they're going to go for it here. No, they decided to go ahead and punt it away. That punt looks like it's going to float out of bounds. It's being marked right at the Heritage 21-yard line. So Heritage is going to go ahead and take over on downs. And they're going to start their offensive campaign on their own 21-yard line. Kyle, both these teams really kind of struggled last year. Heritage, well, we'll talk about Fort Vancouver in a little bit, but Heritage ultimately went 3-6, 0-5 in the season. They've got quite a few returning starters coming back. They've got 8 offensive starters, 7 defensive starters. They're looking to see some improvement this year.
And it looks like a lot of upperclassmen, like he's mentioned. This is going to be the year. This is their window here. So we'll see what they can do on their first opportunity on offense.
Returning quarterback Owen Daly is going to go ahead and hand this ball off to Emmanuel Daniel. Daniel's going to go ahead and get a gain of 9. They're going to give him the first down. That's going to go ahead and move the chains. That's going to be 1st and 10 from the Heritage 37. Daly's got Daniel lined up to his right. He's going to go ahead and he's going to find Traylon McGraw.
Breaks a couple tackles, still on his feet.
It's a big pitch and catch there. That's going to move the chains. They're going to go ahead and spot that ball inside Fort Vancouver territory at the 39-yard line. We've got a replay here. You see Daly fakes the handoff and just finds McGraw right through the slot. McGraw doing a great job breaking a couple tackles until he finally gets wrapped up.
29-yard pass there.
All right, we've got a little stoppage here. Looks like we've got somebody, Fort Vancouver, lined up offside. That's going to move the ball another 5. That's going to make it 1st and 5 from the Fort Vancouver 29-yard line. Daly's got Daniel lined up just off his left shoulder. He's going to hand it off. Daniel cuts back, finds a hole up the middle. He's going to get enough for the first down at the 21-yard line.
Kai St. James able to slow him down a little bit with a couple of Fort Vancouver defenders following up on that tackle to bring him down. 9-yard run there.
Ball spotted just inside the right hash mark. Daly's got a 3-receiver set. Daniel in the background. And Daly takes a shot at the end zone. Intended receiver, Dakari Bradford, unable to just bring that one in.
I like the thought there. Almost looked like he caught the Fort Vancouver wideout or cornerback here sleeping a little bit. Let's see what second down brings. Same sort of play set up for Heritage.
Daly's going to hand this one off to Daniel. Daniel finds another hole. He's breaking out to the outside. That's going to be enough to move the chains. That's going to bring it 1st and goal with a 9:13 left remaining in this first quarter.
Gabriel Cheyenne first to get hands on the running back there.
Ball spotted on the 7.5-yard line. Daly lines up with a 3-receiver set, hands the ball off to Daniel. Daniel's going to go ahead and find his way into the end zone. That's going to be a touchdown for Heritage. First 6 points of the season for the Timberwolves.
Isaiah James with the score there.
You're correct. I stand corrected.
Heritage jumping to a 6-0 lead there. A lot of damage done by Emmanuel Daniel. Isaiah James able to find the end zone here and give Timberwolves the early lead. Looks like there is a penalty after the fact. Going to push, make this a very difficult extra point.
I didn't see what the penalty was, Kyle, but it did back him up.
It's Omar Ramirez on the kick.
And the 28-yard extra point is going to be good.
Very good.
After the penalty, he converts the extra point. That takes it 7 for Heritage High School. They're going to go ahead and kick the ball back off to Fort Vancouver here as we come back out. So let's talk a little bit about Fort. So Fort has struggled. It's no secret. They went 0-9 last year. They currently have a 17-game losing streak. But I was able to go ahead and talk to Coach Ephraim of the Trappers, and he said he was really encouraged about the progress that they've made in the offseason. They're really looking to build on some success and some momentum this year. He said they've got a long ways to go, but he's really happy with the progress they've made. So it's encouraging words from Coach there. He's certainly optimistic, but he knows there's still a lot of work to do.
Sure. And that's tough. You're essentially trying to reset the culture on that big of a losing streak, and that is tough to do. Positive thoughts? We're open. We can see that streak snap tonight.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, it's week 1. Crazier things have happened. So kicking duties for the Heritage Timberwolves tonight, Omar Ramirez. Blaine Tevedal back to receive for the Trappers. This ball's going to go ahead. Oh, it takes a weird bounce just outside of the end zone. Tevedal does go ahead and pick it up. He's able to return it back to the 10-yard line. That's not the type of bounce that the Trappers were looking for to start this drive off.
Yeah, and the way the initial kickoff went, that bounce definitely went their favor. Things kind of came back to the mean here a little bit. And that was a cruel kick from the Timberwolves. That puts Fort Vancouver on the 10-yard line.
All right, DeWitt has Roman Paez sitting right behind him. He's got a 4-receiver set. Otherwise, he's got a receiver in motion. And it looks like we've got a legal procedure penalty coming. False start. So that's going to back the Trappers up deeper into their own territory to start this drive. Ball's going to be spotted at the 5-yard line. We're looking at 1st and 15. We've got another penalty here. This time it's on the Timberwolves.
Right back to where we started here.
Back and forth. We're sitting 1st and 10. All right. No personnel changes for either team. DeWitt is sitting in a shotgun. Still has Paez right over his left shoulder.
Back to action here. We got 22 on the run.
That's going to be Paez. He's going to get a short gain of, looks like they're going to give him 2. They'll bring up 2nd and 8. Hard count is going to go ahead and get Heritage to jump across the line of scrimmage.
Should be 2nd and 3 here.
So ball is spotted on the 16-yard line, right in the middle of the field. Just as Cheyenne Gabriel just off to his right. Paez right behind him. 3 receivers set. He's going to hand this off to Paez. Paez is going to run hard into the hole just off the left side. He's going to make it to the 20-yard line.
It's going to give Fort. It's going to get him real close to first down here.
It looks like they're trying to figure out, are they giving them the first down? It looks like it's going to be 3rd and inches. It's about 3rd and a foot in order to move the chains here. This will be a big down for the Fort Vancouver Trappers.
I'd imagine they just run the same play. Another penalty here.
And it's going to be a false start on Fort Vancouver. It's going to back them up 5. It brings a much different play call, 3rd and 5, as opposed to 3rd and less than a yard.
They've been pretty consistent handing the ball off to Pays here. Let's see if they stick with that game plan.
5 seconds on the play clock and counting. Ooh, they were able to get it off, but that's a high snap. DeWitt was able to recover, and it looks like he recovered just inside the 1-yard line in order to prevent that safety, but that's going to back him up 4th and long from the 1.
God, just so close, too. 3rd and inches, and all of a sudden we're back.
That was in 4th and 20.
Yeah.
4th and 19. You know, it's a young team. There's going to be mental mistakes, and it's going to happen. And
first game of the year, too.
First game of the year. And it's going to be a high punt. And it's going to be bobbled by Heritage. They're going to ultimately end up, looks like you called fair catch right there at the 26-yard line. So Heritage is going to have great field position.
Jess Lorenzana and Johnny Penalua right there just in case that ball was dropped. But Heritage able to recover, keep possession, start on Fort's 26 here.
So Owen Daly is going to go ahead and lead this drive for the Timberwolves. He's got Emmanuel Daniel back in the backfield with him again. And he's looking just to the slot receiver. Intended to target Jacob Karpuk. Unable to bring that one in. There is a penalty on the play. We'll see what the officials decide here.
In and out there, just a beautiful pass.
It was a great pass
from Owen Daly.
We've got a pass interference call on the Trappers. Yeah, Karpuk was able to just leave his man really in the dust. He had plenty of separation. You just couldn't reel it in.
And again, first game of the year. This is, you know, as a coach, you never like to see these mistakes, but at some point, you got to expect them and roll with them here.
They are going to happen, and it seems to happen every year, right? There's a lot of those penalties. There's a lot of drop balls, that type of thing in week one, and it's what teams are able to go ahead and really mitigate those mistakes as you move through the season. All right, Timberwolves are going to take the ball. Well, not take the ball over, but they're going to have 1st and 10 here on the 14-yard line.
Great cut there.
Traylon McGraw cutting all the way across the field. He gets hit at the 2-yard line, and they're going to go ahead and mark him down right at the 1.5-yard line. Here's a replay here. We see Daly finding McGraw early. And McGraw decides just go east and west and heads all the way over to the opposite side of the field. Big hit there by Ricky Bowie.
And quarterback keeper. That's going to be Owen Daly running that one in, extending the Timberwolves lead here.
That's going to bring the score to 13-0 for the Heritage Timberwolves. Daly with the 2-yard rush for the touchdown. Omer Ramirez is going to go ahead and line up for the extra point. And the kick is up, and it is good. It's going to bring the total to 14 for the Heritage Timberwolves, 0 for the Fort Vancouver Trappers. 5:49 remaining in the first quarter.
Unfortunate couple of bounces on the last Trapper possession. We're going to see if it does not necessarily seem like Heritage has the defensive momentum, just a few mental mistakes from the Fort Vancouver side. Let's see if we can tidy those up and find the end zone.
Yeah, that's certainly in the game plan for the Trappers at this moment. How do you minimize those mistakes? Dewis doesn't really look real comfortable yet sitting under center, so how does he come out, be a little bit more assertive? I think the game clock, the play clock, he's just not, I mean, last year he played tight end, so this is a new position for him. He came out, they needed a quarterback, and he said, Coach, I'm ready to do it. And so he really kind of stepped up, and he stepped into that leadership role. And so this is his first game in that position, and so he's got to figure some things out. And I think he will as the time goes on. All right, that was Blaine Tevedal with the kickoff return. He brings it out to the 24-yard line. So much better starting position for Fort Vancouver to start this drive than their last possession.
Gives them a little bit more of an opportunity to spread things out, try to string some passes together. Let's see what let's see what our quarterback can do here, DeWest.
Trappers come out with a 3-receiver set. Dewis has Paez just off his left shoulder. Burnell goes in motion. He receives the handoff. And he runs into a wall of Heritage linemen.
Looked like Markarian on the tackle there. Several Heritage defenders involved in that play, however.
It ultimately ends up with a no gain, so we're sitting 2nd and 10. 5:16 left in the first quarter and counting. Dewis with a 4-receiver set. Paez lined up just behind Dewis in the backfield. And he hands it off to Paez. Paez is able to go ahead and gain a few. Looks like a gain of 2. They're going to mark this ball down right at the 26-yard line. That brings up 3rd and 8.
Elijah Uminski on the tackle there. We may have Heritage recover.
So that ball was fumbled with a Heritage recovery.
Ethan Matlock handed the ball over to the ref. I'm not sure if he ended up on the recovery there. It looks like it, the way the Timberwolves are
congratulated him. Yeah. Yeah, so that's going to be another turnover for the Trappers with the recovery. We'll see this replay here. We'll see if we can't see this ball pop out. Paez finds a hole.
Oh, looked pretty early. It may have popped out.
Big hit there by Elijah Uminski.
Now, Heritage just about on the 26.
Daly collects that high snap, and he's able to go ahead and get a gain of 4. And that's going to bring up 2nd and 7. Daly looks to pass. He decides to hold on to it. He's rolling out to his left. He's ultimately going to go ahead and get brought down. He does get a gain of a few here.
Good tackle there by Gabriel Cheyenne, because there was not a ton of other Trapper bodies in the vicinity. Could have been a fairly big run there.
Yeah, Trapper's doing a great job with their coverage downfield. Daly looked to throw the ball 3 separate times. He had nobody open. And that's going to bring up 3rd and 4.
Quick timeout here. Looks to be called by Fort. Seems to be an emphasis on the ground game for Heritage early. Sneaking in a couple passes through the seam, but definitely keeping it a running attack alive.
Yeah, Owen Daly is certainly somebody who's thrown the ball a little bit, but they definitely focused on the running game, especially last year. And as they've got a core offensive, their offensive core has returned. We're certainly going to see that continue, right? He certainly has some threats and some options at his wide receiver positions. Taking a look at Dakari Bradford, Traylon McGraw, and Jacob Karpuk, who have all been targeted tonight so far. So definitely got some talent there on the outside for Daly to find. But they certainly will rely on Emmanuel Daniel and Isaiah James in the backfield.
Yeah, so far 47 rushing yards for Heritage as a team, coming on just 7 total rushes, averaging just about 7 yards per carry.
Oh, that's a high snap. Daly's going to go get it, and he's going to fall on it. And that's going to bring Heritage back all the way back to the 37-yard line. And that brings up 4th down.
Big play there for Heritage, unable to capitalize on getting inside the red zone.
See what Heritage decides to do here is they come out of the huddle. We've got Daly and Daniel in the backfield. Daly's looking for, and he finds Traylon McGraw down the right-hand side. He's going to go ahead and make it into the end zone for a touchdown. That's a big 4th down conversion to put another 6 points up on the board for the Heritage Timberwolves.
It looks like it is a penalty against Heritage right around the 40-yard line, negating what would have been a massive 4th down completion for the team. Let's see what the call is here. Here's a replay.
We'll see this replay. Daly finds McGraw immediately. Maybe we'll come back to that. So this big penalty backs Heritage up even further. That's going to put the ball at the 47-yard line, Fort Vancouver's 47-yard line. And at this point, they're bringing out the punt team. Omar Ramirez has the punting duties as well.
We are looking at 4th and 31 here. And this may be another Heritage penalty. Oh, Heritage able to call the timeout just in time here.
So, with Fort Vancouver taking that timeout when Heritage was sitting 3rd and 5, got a couple penalties against Heritage. Not the way you want to stop them, but it worked out for them. The ball has bounced their way once again tonight.
Yep. At the end of the day, you take those 100% of the time. Yeah. So as long as Fort can just don't give up a big play here. Let's just get possession. Let's refocus.
Yeah, that was a replay there of the touchdown that was just called back, the Daly-McGraw connection. It was a great pitch and catch, unfortunately negated by the Heritage penalty.
2:12 here left in the first quarter. Heritage up 14-0. About to punt the ball away to Fort Vancouver.
All right, Ramirez ready to receive the ball for the punt. We've got Javier Burnell for Fort Vancouver ready to receive. He's standing right on the 15-yard line. Snap's good. Punts away. Burnell is going to go ahead and let this roll into the end zone. So it's going to be Fort Vancouver football starting on the 20-yard line. 2:03 left in the first quarter. Fort Vancouver is going to try to get some sort of offense going. If they can mitigate the penalties, mitigate the mistakes, hopefully they can get a little bit of momentum rolling.
We're going to see what Coach Ephraim has drawn up for the Trappers here. Dewis back in.
Pea sitting right behind Dewis. We've got a 3-receiver set. And that ball was handed off, but that's a big play.
That was
number
Isaiah
22
James.
by Isaiah James.
He is everywhere tonight.
It's a big tackle for a loss. He's already got a touchdown tonight. He's having a great game so far. Here, we'll see this replay. The ball gets handed off, and James is right there. Timing couldn't have been any better. That's going to bring up 2nd and 14 for the Trappers. All right, Dewis finds a little connection there. That's going to be Burnell.
Dakari Bradford on the tackle there.
And that should bring up about 3rd and 11. Four receiver set this time for the Trappers. Was trying to beat Heritage offsides, was unsuccessful. 3 on the play clock.
Looks to be another Fort Vancouver timeout here.
And they are going to take a timeout to prevent that delay of game penalty.
It's not necessarily on the same page here.
So with Heritage finishing last year 3-6, 0-5 in the league, they're looking to break in, and I know it's only week 1, Kyle, but we can always start talking about playoffs. The great thing about 3A this year for the Greater St. Helens League is they actually get 3 playoff spots. So you take a look, Mountain View, Evergreen, those are schools that people think are going to be a shoo-in for those top 2 positions. That 3rd spot, it really could be anybody, and Heritage really thinks it could be them.
They've got some big games coming up then. This is, testing the waters here, but as we get deeper into league play, if there's essentially 1 seed up for grabs, Heritage is going to have some big games coming up.
All right, coming out of the timeout, we've got DeWiss with Paez lined up behind him. He's got a three receiver set, excuse me. DeWiss rolls out, and he's not able to go ahead and evade the sack. And that's going to be for a loss of yards.
Looks like Adam Friedendahl, along with Nick Markarian, on the tackle there, bringing 4th down.
Ball's going to be spotted on Fort Vancouver's 13-yard line. So 4th and 17.
That's going to be the end of Q1. Heritage up 14-0.
We're going to go ahead and we're going to swap sides here. We'll start the second quarter off. 4th and 17 for the Trappers, deep in their own zone.
Definitely looks like Heritage is kind of getting the defensive miscues out of the way. They're finding their rhythm out there. A couple mental errors 4-4 early, but Heritage really starting to look dominant here and pull it together.
They are, and the key will be in these games, because this game doesn't have a real flow to it yet, right? It's kind of clunky. There's no real rhythm. And so the key for Heritage is really going to be able to, can they stay focused, and in those moments, can they minimize their own mistakes? And if I'm the Heritage coach, that's what I'm asking my players to really focus on and concentrate on for the remainder of this game. I mean, obviously, we're going to go out, we're going to try to score more points, but how do you minimize those mental mistakes?
Absolutely, absolutely. Starting to look a little bit more confident out there, too, for Heritage.
All right, we're going to start the second quarter off. DeWiss lined up in a shotgun formation here.
We're all looking at 4th down, I believe.
We are. Yeah, it actually looks like Javier Benel is back there for the punt. And he gets a high punt off.
Skies it. Almost nails a Heritage player there a couple times.
And that ball is going to be downed on the Fort Vancouver 22-yard line. So Heritage is going to take over once again deep into Fort Vancouver territory to start their drive.
It was a net 9-yard punt there for Fort, giving Heritage very optimum field position here. Let's see if they can carry over the defensive tenacity to the offense.
Owen Daly, the quarterback for the Timberwolves, coming back up. He's got Emmanuel Daniel lined up just to his left.
I would imagine they run the same play that Traylon McGraw scored that was called back on a penalty here. Sort of looking like the perfect opportunity to try.
A little slant route to that corner. They are going to go ahead and hand the ball off to Daniel, and Daniel is stopped in the backfield for a loss of 2. So big defensive stop there for the Trappers. Looks like that was Johnny Pinuwala Grunberg with the tackle. All right, 2nd and 12. Daly's looking downfield. His target was McGraw across the middle. McGraw not able to bring that in. It looks like there was a little bit of confusion there between McGraw and Bradford as they crossed through the middle.
Almost looked like both of them got hands on the ball. Neither able to bring that one in, though.
So they're going to give it another go here at 3rd and 12. Daly drop back is looking for Bradford. Finds him in the middle of the end zone, in the middle of the field. That's going to put another 6 on the board for the Heritage Timberwolves.
No penalties on that one. Timberwolves jump up to a 20 lead pending the extra point here.
A 24-yard touchdown pass. Owen Daly to Dakari Bradford.
Omar Ramirez back on the kick here.
And the kick is good. And that's going to take the score to 21 for the Heritage Timberwolves.
Here's a good replay.
They see Daly here looking for Bradford right off the bat. Bradford able to go ahead and split a couple defensive backs and bring that in for 6.
Heritage really carving up the middle of the field right now, just with the passes. It looks like Owen Daly able to find seams throughout the middle, throughout the Fort Vancouver secondary.
Yeah, they've been there all night, and I'm not quite sure how Fort Vancouver can find a way to stop that. It's just, I don't know.
We'll see if Fort can respond here, getting the kickoff. Got 10:56 left in Q2 here at the first game, McKenzie Stadium of the high school 2025 season.
Bunnell lined up at the 6-yard line, ready to receive for the Trappers. Kick is away, and Bunnell is going to field this one right around the 9-yard line. He cuts up the middle, cuts back up to the right-hand side. He's going to run into a little bit of traffic. We've got some Hankies down on the field, but ultimately brought down at the 27-yard line.
I would imagine that's going to be a face mask against Heritage there.
That's what I saw. We'll see what the official call is here as it comes through. Yep. Personal foul, face masks on the Timberwolves. And here we'll see this replay. See Bunnell just cutting right back up, and there it is.
Now that'll do it.
Looks like it was Alex Reyes.
No doubt from the referees either. Everyone wanted a piece of the action there.
Yeah. Lots of dirty laundry on the field.
Fort now starting at the 41-yard line.
This will be their best field position of the night. We'll see if they can make something of it. Give themselves a little bit more room to work with rather than sitting in their own red zone.
Possession by possession, they are creeping up further and further into Heritage territory. Let's see what they can do here.
All right. Joe says 2 receivers sitting wide, 1 in the slot. He's got Paez lined up just off his left shoulder. This ball's going to be handed off to Bunnell. Bunnell cuts back up into the inside, and he's brought down right at the 42-yard line for a gain of 1.
Once again, Markarian on the tackle there. Just easily tracking every Fort Vancouver run here. He's involved in every one of them.
Bring up 2nd and 8 for the Trappers. Just getting the play call from the sideline.
Trappers really using the clock here from the get-go.
.10 on the play clock. And he finds Bennell in the slot. Bennell's able to go ahead and make the catch for a little gain. It's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
Isaiah James and Traylon McGraw in conjunction on the tackle. Game plan for Fort just seems to be feed the ball to Javier Bunnell.
He has been Dewis's favorite target so far tonight. We've got 6 seconds left on the play clock. They do get it off. Oh, Dewis
that may be a fumble.
Shovel pass.
No whistle from the referees.
There is no whistle.
That was James Carpruck on the recovery.
The officials are going to confer here and decide whether that pass was forward or backwards. We'll ultimately see what the call is here.
And that is why you always play to the whistle. You cannot stop, just in case.
We'll see this replay here. Dewis, he just runs out of room. He doesn't have any option.
That was a backwards pass, is what that looked like. Was close, but that looks to be a fumble.
I know sometimes the angles of the cameras can play tricks on us, so we'll see what the officials say, but initially it looks like that they're bringing this back, but
referee's closing in on a decision here. Looks to be a touchdown.
yeah, so they are going to call it a fumble and a recovery by Heritage with a score.
That was about a 35-yard fumble recovery by Jacob Karpiuk, extending the lead to 27, once again pending the extra point here.
It's just another bad break for the Trappers. And that's, I mean, when it comes down to it, as Ramirez lines up for the extra point here, that just comes up to inexperience.
It does. And you know, football, the old saying, it's a game of inches, right? But when you compound that with mistakes, this is going to happen where all of a sudden you're trailing by 4 touchdowns.
Yeah. And Ramirez puts that through the uprights to make the score 28 for the Heritage Timberwolves. We're going to see this replay one more time. We'll see Dewis
toss it right around the 38.
And it lands 37. Yeah, that was definitely backwards. That is a fumble.
It's a good call by the referees there. They don't have the
benefit of replay.
That is correct, yeah, but heads up play there by the referees.
Yeah. So that takes the lead to 4 scores for the Timberwolves. We're sitting 8:45 left in the second quarter. We've got Bennell lined up to receive the kickoff. He's lined up right around the 6-yard line. We'll see if he can't get another big return.
Beautiful Friday night here, early September. If you're watching from home via YouTube, EPS Public Schools, thank you for joining us.
Bennell's going to field this one right at the 2-yard line. He takes it up the left-hand side of the field. He finds a seam. He's ultimately going to get brought down right around the 27-yard line. So good return from Bennell.
As far as returns go, you can tell that was a different confident player from the last couple, where he did not hesitate, and he just went for it there. And that's what we need to see more from Fort Vancouver to make this game here.
Yeah, I absolutely agree.
On their own 27 here.
All right, we'll see if DeWitt can go ahead and lead his Trappers into Heritage territory. He's got a 4-receiver set. DeWitt rolls out to his right. Intended receiver Blaine Tevedal.
Nearly picked off again there. That would have been Karpiuk, who just returned that fumble return on the pick, but in and out of the hands there.
Yeah, it was just trying to find Tevedal just across the middle.
Looks like a penalty of sorts against Fort Vancouver. Gonna move him back 5 yards.
Here's a replay here. DeWitt rolls out to his right. Yeah, Tevedal almost needed to go get that, but that's a tough play. That's a tough throw to make into traffic, and it's a tough catch when you've got two guys converging on you.
Definitely Juan De Leon for Heritage also involved in that play.
DeWitt drops back. He's looking over the middle. He rolls out to his left. He pitches out to Ricky Bowie, and they're unable to go ahead and complete that. That's going to bring up second down.
Markarian again involved in that play, nearly taking down a quarterback there. Second and 15 for Fort Vancouver. Keep your eye on right in the middle for Heritage right there, number 71.
Just hands off to Payaz this time. Payaz finds a small hole on the left-hand side there. Gets a gain of 3. That's going to bring up 3rd and 12.
Elijah Uminski able to bring him down.
Ball spotted on the 25-yard line, right on the left hash.
Curious to see if Fort Vancouver continues to milk the clock here. Given the situation, I would expect that not to happen.
All right, DeWitt takes the snap, and he finds his receiver in the slot. That was to Cheyenne Gabriel, and he takes a big hit.
Dakari Bradford right there, ready to take him down. It's going to put Fort Vancouver looking at another 4th down here.
Yeah, we're going to see this replay. DeWitt finds Gabriel right in the flat. Big pop there by Dakari Bradford.
Fortunate there wasn't a helmet-to-helmet penalty there. It looked pretty close, but
it was close. He did lead with the shoulder, but it was close. We'll see what Fort Vancouver comes up here with 4th and 7, and they're going to punt this ball away. A better punt than last series, and this is going to take a trapper bounce. A very good trapper bounce, and that ball is going to be downed at the 31-yard line. Heritage is going to take over with 7:21 remaining here in the first half. All right. Owen Daly comes back out. He's got Emmanuel Daniel in the backfield, just off to his left. As Heritage continues to get their personnel in order.
Again, keep your eye on a wideout Traylon McGraw out on the far side of the field here.
Got some laundry on the field. We'll see if this goes against... It's going to go against Heritage, so a false start. It's going to back Venom up 5. We're at first down and 15, starting on the 20 on Heritage's own 26-yard line.
Looks to be roughly the same play here. Number 5, Jacob Karpiuk.
Oh. Yeah, hands it off to Daniel. Daniel makes his way around the corner and out to the outside. Spin move along the far touchline. He ultimately goes out of bounds. And they're going to mark that ball out right at the 34-yard line. So that's going to bring up second down and 8. I'm sorry, second down and 7. So a good 8-yard run from Daniel there.
Believe that was Johnny Panaula Grunberg, able to finally bring him down here. Big gain from Heritage.
Daly hands it off to Daniel again. Daniel finds his way up the middle. For a short gain, they're going to mark him down right at the, looks like 38-yard line. So a gain of 3. It's going to bring up 3rd and 3. 6 minutes remaining here in the first half. Daly's got Daniel lined up to his right this time, and he's going to go ahead and hand it off. Daniel continues to find his way up the middle, and he's going to get brought down right at the 42-yard line. That's going to be enough to move the chains for a first down.
Puts Daniel over 50 rushing yards for the first half here. Last several plays have just been fed right to him.
Looks like there was a timeout called on the Heritage side.
About halfway through the second quarter, Heritage up 28-0 on a couple of rushing TDs, a passing TD, a fumble recovery TD, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And
yeah, they've had a little bit of everything tonight.
Timberwolves ready to rock here.
All right, we come out of the timeout. We've got 1st and 10 from Heritage's own 42-yard line. Looks like they did give Emmanuel Daniel a little break, well earned and deserved for him. Isaiah James checks in. Sitting just off the right shoulder of Owen Daly. Daly looking deep off the right-hand side of the field, and that ball is caught. That Traylon McGraw once again with a big catch. Finally pushed out of bounds at the 22-yard line.
That's going to be a matchup we're going to have to keep tabs on throughout the match here because he is, here's a good replay.
Yeah, you see Daly finding McGraw and just...
I don't know if he could have placed it any better.
He couldn't have. I don't think he could. That was a great throw, great catch.
36-yard pass there.
Daly hands this one off to Emmanuel Daniel. He checked back into the game. Daniel's going to break it around to the left for a touchdown. There is a couple flags on the play.
This would be the, well, let's see the verdict before we jump to conclusions.
With where the flags are placed on the field, this most likely is a holding penalty.
Does look to be one on the close side of the field too, but I can't imagine there was much involved out there. But once again, every referee seeing exactly what happened. They're all on the same page. These referees are in mid-season form. You can see form.
Hey, it's been 9 months since they've been able to throw a flag. They're just excited. They want to get involved. They're doing a great job. Here's the replay here of Daniel just breaking out to the outside. That's ultimately
right there. There's
back.
The hold.
There's the hold. Great run by Daniel. Too bad that's negated.
That's the second touchdown negated by penalty for Heritage.
Yeah. Something Heritage is certainly going to want to clean up as we go out through the season.
It's going to make this a 1st and 20.
Daly's got Daniel off his left shoulder. This time he initially looked for McGraw, didn't find him, and that ball is just going to be overthrown. Intended target was Jacob Karpriuk.
12 on the coverage there. Javier Bunnell for Fort Vancouver.
It's going to bring up 2nd down with the incompletion. Traylon McGraw lined up on the far side of your screen there. And this is going to be an offside call. Heritage is going to get some of those yards back from that holding penalty. So we're going to be looking at 2nd and 15.
Let's see if Heritage goes back to what's been working for him, and that's been giving the ball to Emmanuel Daniel and seeing what he can do with it.
Yeah, he's had a couple great runs. A couple of them have been brought back due to penalties, but he's had a great game tonight so far. And they do just that. They do hand the ball off to Daniel. Daniel breaks out to the right side. Stiff arm. He fumbles the football, and that ball is going to be recovered by Fort.
Great recovery there for Fort.
Daniel just not able to hold on to that football. Immediately recovered by the Trappers.
Ricky Bowie there stretches just to grab that, and that's a big turnover there.
It was quick thinking because that ball was heading out of bounds. We see it here. Daniel just breaks out to the right side. He's got a good stiff arm here. And he just loses control of that football. Bowie does a great job to go ahead and jump on it.
Yeah, what an excellent play there. Jess Lorenzana forcing the fumble there.
So Fort Vancouver is going to take over the football on the 13-yard line. I understand that sounded more like a question, but it is the 13-yard line. Dewis is going to hand the ball off to Payaz. Payaz is stopped at the line of scrimmage. That's going to result in a no gain. 2nd and 10.
Once again, keep your eye on that Heritage defensive line just wreaking havoc. Not giving Fort Vancouver quarterback Logan Dues much time to make a decision back there.
Dues looking out into the flat. He finds Blaine Tevedal with a reception.
Got Tevedal down here.
There's going to be a short injury timeout. Hopefully, young man's okay. It was a good pitch and catch. It's going to be a gain of 8. Bring up third down as Tevedal gets attended to. Yeah, you made mention, Kyle, of Heritage's defensive line. They've certainly won the battle so far tonight. They've been extremely impressive about closing down holes and really making tackles right before they get into that secondary coverage.
They have, and even if the ball gets past the defensive line, they are right there. They it's almost like they know exactly which play is coming, but especially guys, you got Karpiuk involved in every defensive play out there. Their defense is certainly coming around from where we first saw them. Blaine Teveldal back up here.
He is walking off the field, so that's a good sign. Hopefully we see him later tonight.
Fort Vancouver has completed 3 of their last 4 passes, so we're going to see if they can keep that offensive momentum, maybe get some points on the board, and start the comeback here.
All right, Devez leads his offense back out into the field. He's got Paez lined up just off his right shoulder this time.
79 there in the middle of the defensive line for Heritage. Keep your eye on him here.
Duas hands the ball off to Paez. Paez bounces out to the left. And it's going to be close. It looks like he did get enough for the first down. That's going to be 1st and 10. Ball was spotted right at the 29-yard line.
Traylon McGraw on the tackle there, so also playing a huge, having a huge impact for Heritage on the defensive side.
Duas has a 4-receiver set.
Ten on the play clock, and
Duas looks to his left. He had Bunnell open. He just slightly overthrew it. Bunnell did a great job to create a little bit of separation between him and his defensive back.
Yeah, just a bit more arc on that ball, and he would have been gone
a little bit. Ultimately, it fell incomplete, but I mean that's a positive, right? That's even though how small it is encouraging to see that there's some offensive momentum being built on the Trapper side of the football.
Absolutely. That's the first ball we've seen, definitely the longest ball we've seen thrown by Fort Vancouver here.
Duas hands this off to Paez. And he's stopped for a loss behind the line of scrimmage. It's going to back him up a yard.
Juan De Leon on the tackle.
Just under 2.5 minutes to play here in the first half. Duas drops back. This play is going to be stopped. It's like we've got a false start on Fort Vancouver. That's going to back them up.
3rd and long here, if that is the case. It's going to push Fort Vancouver back to about the 18-yard line. Four out wide for Fort Vancouver, looking to pass again. Nearly picked off twice by Heritage. That was Braden Oster, and it looked to be Karpiuk again on the coverage. Just over 2 minutes to play here. This is going to force another Fort Vancouver punt, unless they want to get creative here. And it looks like they may just do that. This will be a Fort Vancouver punt, deep inside their own territory. Another flag on the play. Let's see what happens here. Almost a greedy play there by McGraw. Didn't need to do that, but gains a couple yards. If the play stands, we're going to end up inside the 40-yard line. Back inside Fort Vancouver territory for Heritage. Let's see if Heritage can add another couple more points to the board before halftime here. Heritage signaling they will decline the penalty. All right, 1st and 10 on the Fort Vancouver 38-yard line. Emmanuel Daniel with 64 rushing yards just on 9 carries. So again, continuing to average about 7 yards per carry here. Let's see if they keep feeding him the ball. Oh, Bradford unable to reel that one in. Owen Daly putting up the stats, but 3 of 6 as far as completions go. But 65 yards passing so far. About 20 yards per completion. 2nd and 10. Daniel back with the ball. Gets inside the 20 is what it looks like. Big gain there from the Timberwolves. Clock will stop as we ran out of bounds. It looks like we got to about the 17-yard line here. 21-yard run for Daniel. Give it right back to Daniel up the middle. Couple of cuts, and he's going to find the end zone here. No flags on the play. It's going to be a 34-0 lead for Heritage. 17-yard TD there. Just like that, Daniel's got over 100 yards. Here's a good replay. Starts going left, little cut, and he is going to find the end zone. Omar Ramirez. Another good kick. 35-0 here at Mackenzie Stadium. Heritage over Fort Vancouver. Heritage looks ready for the punt already. be Ramirez on the kick here once again. Back to receive Javier Bunnell. Confident return on the last one. Let's see if he can keep that up. It's going to go out right around the 1 yard line. That is going to be a penalty against Heritage. Believe that should bring out for Vancouver to about the 30-yard line. Everyone commiserating with the referees yet again. Out to the 35. A 15-yard penalty for the OB kickoff. Decent fielding position for Vancouver yet again here. Let's see if they can capitalize. DeWest back in for the snap here. That was Ramon Pays on the carry there. Gets a couple 3-yard run there. Heritage able to hold the Fort Vancouver rushing attack down to about their leading rusher right now is 7 yards on 7 carries. And that's going to bring it back a little bit more, too. Big tackle there yet again. Number 71, Nick Markarian. Loss of 2. Looking at 3rd and 9 here. About 15 seconds left here in the second quarter. Fort Vancouver looking for one more play. Hand off there again to Roman Pays. That is going to bring us to halftime. Heritage up 35-0. We're going to send that over to the halftime booth here with some updates and stats for you.
Hello, everybody. Matt Griffin here alongside Ryan Bassbinder. Week 1 of our EPS Sports fall football schedule. The Heritage Timberwolves up, what was it, 35?
35-0.
35-0 over the Fort Vancouver Trappers. Now, the Trappers haven't been over here to Mackenzie Stadium for a long time since they dropped down several classifications.
Yeah, I mean, as long as I've been doing this is the first time we've ever seen Fort Vancouver. So they're certainly playing up a little bit. They're typically in that 1A Trico League. So this is certainly some competition that's a little bit better than what they're used to seeing.
Yeah, well, and we've seen over the last couple of years, Heritage has been building and, had some games where they were on the other side of a score like this. But lots of penalties. It sure has the feelings of first game of the season, right?
It certainly does, and you get that a lot in the first game of the season in week 1, and I think we're going to see it even in the 7 o'clock game later tonight.
Right.
It's just kids are nervous, and they're getting their cadences down and everything else, and they're just not settled in yet. And it only comes with game experience. And so as the weeks go on and the season goes on, they're going to polish those things up and be able to eliminate those.
Heritage doing lots of things right, relying on their wide receiver and their running back for multiple touchdowns each. What would you say to the Heritage players as a coach going into the second half? I mean, they're doing a lot of things right. We've talked about that, but lots of penalties for sure.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of things right. I mean, Emmanuel Daniels having a great day back there at running back. He's finding holes. He's got himself a couple touchdowns. Traylon Martin has made a couple of fantastic catches out in the outs. So, I mean, my message to my Heritage players would be keep your heads right. Don't get sucked into the score and just play our game. Stick with the game plan. Minimize penalties as much as you can, because that's what we're going to be able to build off of as we go on to the rest of the season.
On the flip side of the coin, what do you tell Fort Vancouver to just not lose heart? We talked about them playing up a number of divisions, if you will, and they've faced declining enrollments that all of our schools have, but they have a thinner and younger squad.
They do, and you can notice that even just by taking a look at the sidelines, right? They've got 10 guys standing on the sidelines. So it's a young team, and it's a team where, I mean, they're on a 17-game losing streak, which could be 18 after tonight. Yeah. And so it's very hard not to get disheartened, but a lot of it is just go out there, stick to the game plan, minimize mistakes as well. But at the same time, it's game experience. The quarterback, Jacob DeWiss, he played tight end last year, and they didn't have a quarterback this year, so he stepped up. So he's new into the leadership role,
right?
And so he's commanding his team for the first time as well. So a lot of it just comes down to game experience, and he'll gain experience as the season goes on, but got to go through the process first.
So before we let you go, we're going to talk about the next game, and part of that is explaining the different voices, or different voice you're hearing up in the booth alongside Ryan here. We have Kyle Bleeke, Mountain View High School graduate from some years back, who is taking over for Rodney Lawrence, who is now the running back coach for the Union Titans. So tell me a little bit about the game that we're going to have, the second game tonight, Evergreen versus Union.
Yeah, it should be fun. Evergreen Union has turned into a bit of a rivalry.
Yeah.
Union really struggled last year. They had a young squad, a new coach come through, and that coach is really just trying to put together his program. And so Evergreen's going to come out. They're expected to be strong again this year. But as you know, in rivalries, anything can happen. And it'll be fun to see Rodney Lawrence down there on the sideline.
Yeah, I'm hoping he'll swing by to say hello. And we want to thank Rodney, of course, for his many years of service broadcasting our football games for EPS Sports. So Matt Griffin alongside Ryan Vassbinder, Ryan and Kyle will be back with more second half action in just a couple of minutes. But right now, I want to tell you, since we're talking about Heritage High School today, I want to tell you about the digital arts students at Heritage High School who recently teamed up with a visiting teacher from Australia. And that teacher and Nathan Younger, the digital arts teacher at Heritage High School, they teamed up together to make a movie about two Bigfoot. I guess that's Big Feet. Take a look.
See, that's where the forest grows thick and the trees are bigger. That's Bigfoot country down there.
I remember hearing a story about an Australian Bigfoot when I was a kid who might have ended up out this way.
How about that? Well, how did that?
Once upon a time,
Okay.
in a place in Western Australia called the Pinnacles, there lived a creature. All hairy, long-armed, big eyes, big teeth, and as the name indicates, big feet. Some say it is a beauty to the desert. To me, it's always just seemed hot, dry, and unforgiving. The Australian Bigfoot didn't mind it so much, but it was pretty lonely. It hadn't seen another Bigfoot ever. Just the occasional kangaroo, emu, bellbird, Spinifex hopping mouse, and python.
What's a Spinifex hopping mouse?
Dinner for a python. One day, it mixed some of the red sand with water and made paste. And with the paste, it wrote a message on a boomerang. It held the boomerang as hard as it could, and for once in its life, hoped it wouldn't come back. It flew and flew and flew, past Uluru, right over the Sydney Opera House, across the Great Barrier Reef, and right across the Pacific Ocean.
Across the ocean? How though?
I reckon magic, one assumes.
Right.
Anyways, as I was saying, across the Pacific Ocean, under the Astoria Bridge, through the San Juan Islands, past the Space Needle, over Old Town.
That route doesn't even make sense. It's flying everywhere. North, south, east, west. That's not even how a boomerang flies. Ah, magic again?
What, serious? Finally, the boomerang flew into the thick forest of the Pacific Northwest and wham! Hit the head of an unsuspecting North American Bigfoot. The forest, as you well know, can be its own type of unforgiving. Rain, wind, cold. But the North American Bigfoot didn't mind it so much. But it was pretty lonely. Just the occasional black-tailed deer, owl, tree frog, and timber wolf. So when it read "Friend Wanted," the reply came quickly. It grabbed some berries and wrote back. It hurled it back as hard as it could. Off it flew. Old Town, Space Needle, San Juan Islands, Astoria Bridge, across the Pacific Ocean, Great Barrier Reef, Sydney Opera House, Uluru, and back to the pinnacles. The Australian Bigfoot was overjoyed.
Magic again.
Precisely. It finally had a mate, a pen pal of sorts, a friend. Back and forth they wrote messages and threw the boomerang to one another, forming a friendship and bond. They talked about anything and everything, what they had in common and what was unique to Australia and the Pacific Northwest. One day the North American Bigfoot had an idea, and it invited the Australian Bigfoot to come and visit, oblivious to the idea of distance and just how treacherous such a journey would be.
Couldn't it just use, magic again?
Strangely, no. Anyway, as I was saying,
Off it flew. Space Needle, San Juan Islands, Astoria Bridge, the Pacific Ocean, to the Great Barrier Reef. Whomp! A great white shark snatched the boomerang and ate it.
Wait, what? That's it?
ate it whole. Message never arrived. No invite received. Just end of story. By then I should have been asleep anyway.
Well, that's not how I expected it to end at all. That's bittersweet. I mean, I guess there's lessons to be learned about friendship or something.
I don't know, mate. It's just a cautionary tale about looking out for sharks in the reef.
Though I suppose it's one of those stories where you can imagine a different last chapter on your own. I always envisaged the Australian Bigfoot had come to know its friend well enough and wanted to see it anyway. It didn't even need the invitation via boomerang. It probably hiked past Uluru, Old Town, right here to Keegan's Theatre. Two friends together, having fun.
I like that ending. Those two are probably out there playing with each other. They don't even have time to interact with us humans. It's magic. It's the magic of friendship.
One assumes.
Hi, I'm Matt Griffin from EPS Sports. I'm here at McKenzie Stadium to tell you about the schedule for our fall football broadcast. We'll be covering doubleheader games on September 5th and 12th. In October, we'll have doubleheader games on October 17th, 24th, and 30th. All of the games will be on Comcast Channel 328 and the Evergreen Public Schools YouTube channel. That's youtube.com/Evergreen Schools. So be sure to tune in for great local coverage of high school football, and we'll see you all starting on September 5th. Calling all student athletes in Evergreen and Battleground Public Schools. The Mark Rigo Athletic Scholarship Fund is accepting applications. Mark Rigo was a beloved football and track coach who passed away in 2018, but left behind a legacy. The thousands of student athletes he pushed to become the best versions of themselves and pursue their dreams.
His whole thing was the power of one. If he could just do one thing each day for one person, he's made an impact.
If you are heading to college or a post-secondary trade school and have taken part in sports in Evergreen or Battleground Public Schools, Rigo's legacy can also help offset some of your college costs. To fill out an application and learn more, head over to rigoscholarship.com. Let's keep Coach Rigo's legacy going by helping new generations of students pursue their dreams.
Hate is loud. It gets clicks. It gets attention. Hate, however, is actually quite small. But love is the majority. Love fills our hearts, our lives, our every day.
And that is it for our halftime show. We're just a couple minutes away from second half action. The Fort Vancouver Trappers versus the Heritage Timberwolves. Kyle and Ryan will be back with your call in just a couple of minutes.
All right, welcome back to half number 2 for Heritage versus Fort Vancouver. We are here live on Concast Channel 328 and on YouTube at the EPS Sports Network. Ryan Vassbeiner, Kyle Bleeke here on the call with you tonight. Heritage is up 35-0 over the Fort Vancouver Trappers. Heritage is going to go ahead and kick the ball off to the Trappers here to start off the second half. Kyle, thoughts on the first half?
Some miscues from both teams. You could tell nerves definitely played a factor. Heritage's defense definitely started to find the rhythm the further along we went here. Their offense still wasn't firing on all cylinders, but we're close. Fort Vancouver it's been a struggle, but there have been some bright spots.
Some glimpses. Yeah. Bennell here to receive for the Trappers. He receives it right at the 8-yard line. He's finding his way up the middle, and he gets tied up with a shoestring tackle right at the 20-yard line.
And if you're at home watching and you're thinking, hey, didn't Fort Vancouver start the game getting the kickoff? Heritage actually got the kickoff and immediately fumbled. So Fort Vancouver started deep in their territory. We're going to see what happens here. Another good return, though, by Fort. Definitely looking a little bit more confident.
Yeah, their return man, Bennell, has been doing really good work on the returns tonight.
First couple you could tell, again, first game of the year, nerves and a little bit of hesitation, but last couple of, he's made a decision and rolled with it.
Mm-hmm.
That's Fort Vancouver definitely needs a little bit more of that here.
We've got 10 seconds left on the play clock here. Logan Dewis, the quarterback for Fort, getting his guys lined up. And they do get it off. They're going to hand it off to Roman Payaz. And he is going to be stopped short of the line of scrimmage. It's going to be a loss of 1, it looks like.
First half, leading rusher for Fort Vancouver had 4 yards, and that is not going to be a recipe for victory here. So we're going to need to see a little bit more from Pays here in the second half.
Yeah, it's tough when you only have 4 net positive yards on the night as a team.
On the flip side, Emmanuel Daniel has 103 in the first half, so tale of 2 teams here so far. Here in the early going.
Another handoff to Pays, and that ball's going to be fumbled.
Looks like recovered by Fort.
It does look that way. It looks like that was number 55, Ordian Talk, with the fumble recovery. Going to keep possession for the Trappers.
Heads up play from him.
Yeah, it really was, because the handoff was fumbled. We'll see a replay of it here. Actually, the handoff looked good. Payas just lost it as he got hit. Talk doing a great job following that football to the ground. Dewis drops back, rolls out to his left.
Another near interception for Heritage.
Yeah, intended target, Ricky Bowie. That ball just slightly high. It's going to fall incomplete.
Tough to tell. I believe that was Braden Oster on the near interception there. Looking a little disappointed in himself, but he has had a pretty dominant 26 minutes here so far.
Fort Vancouver set up to punt the ball away. That's Bennell with the punt. Heritage coming with the block coverage. And this ball was going to be sent high, not very far. It's going to ultimately settle right down at the 21-yard line. That was Traylon McGraw trying to pick that one up and run with it.
He did something similar in the first half as well, and man, those could bite you pretty quick. So he's lucked into both of them, but
it really could. Yeah. So Heritage is going to start this drive inside the red zone for Vancouver. Ball spotted on the 18-yard line.
Looks like that was about a 5-yard net punt there.
Yeah. Owen Daly, number 9 for the Timberwolves, coming back out as their quarterback. Got Emmanuel Daniel lined up just to his right. A 3-receiver set with a tight end. Daly taking a look over to his left. He's able to dip and duck, but not able to get away from
Jeffrey Garrett there on the tackle, along with a couple other trappers here too.
So that's going to be a loss of yards. It's going to set up 2nd and 17. So
Dominic.
Good defensive play by the trappers there.
Dominic Chapman also there got a hand on him. Loss of 10 for Heritage. Nearly said Minnesota. Not really sure where that came from, but
they're both purple. All right. Daly's got Daniel lined up to his left this time. He drops back. He's looking right. Pump fakes. Fires over the middle. Finds Mark. Sorry, McGraw. He found McGraw. Sorry, I lost my place there. McGraw able to go ahead and take it over the middle. And he is brought down just inside the 5-yard line. That's going to set up a first down and goal.
Yeah, once again, Traylon McGraw here. Just carving up the middle of the field. .22-yard pass there.
Daniel switches sides of Daly. And Daly finds McGraw once again for the end zone for a short pass for a touchdown. That's going to bring the score up to 41.
And not a doubt there either. I'm not sure if McGraw just caught his defender napping or what happened there, but wide open there.
Yeah, McGraw just took off on a slant towards the center of the field, and there was no one within 5 yards of him.
Got Ramirez back on the kick, looking for his 6th extra point of the night.
And the kick is good. And that's going to take the score to 42 for the Heritage Timberwolves. For Vancouver Trappers, still not able to get points on the board. Here's the replay. And you see here, this is the pass right before the touchdown. Finds McGraw in a quick slant over the field, over the middle of the field. And ultimately before he's brought down by just Lorenziana.
Here's the touchdown.
Yeah, that was just a quick slant through the middle.
Yeah, Heritage really finding a lot of success out there.
So in Washington State high school sports, there is a mercy rule that is in play. That's whenever a team is up over 40, has a 40-point lead into the second half, it does turn into a running clock. So we will see that after this kickoff at this point forward. Unless Fort Vancouver scores a touchdown, brings it back within 40, then the clock will stop again.
Good opportunity here to touch on some first half statistics for Heritage. Traylon McGraw leading the team so far. 4 receptions for 66 yards. You just saw his first receiving touchdown. Dakari Bradford also with the receiving touchdown for 24 yards. For Vancouver on the return here. Gets out just past the 20.
Yeah, Benell just got tripped up right there by Braden Oster. Fort Vancouver is going to go ahead and take the ball or start their drive on the 23-yard line. Those are some pretty impressive stats from the Heritage offense so far in the first half.
Yardage per play is pretty terrifying if you're a Fort Vancouver defender, where it's just 7 yards pretty much every single play out there.
All right, Logan West back into shotgun. He's got Paz, and we've got some miscommunication here, but another no whistle. It does look like Fort Vancouver was able to come up. Well, I might be wrong. Let's see here. Let's see what the officials say.
And yet again, this is why you have to play to the whistle. We saw that in the first half on the fumble recovery, and
yeah, DeWitt was just standing there. He didn't move.
Yeah, Heritage very decisive. on both opportunities that could have been stopped.
And they are going to go ahead and give the ball to Heritage. This is going to be another Fort Vancouver turnover.
Heritage now on the 20-yard line. Here's a replay.
Yeah, DeWitt calls for it and just falls at his feet. And nobody really goes for it.
Yeah, even took Heritage a second too, but they do end up with the ball here. Already down to 7 minutes in the third quarter here. Clock will continue to run.
Looks like we've got a new quarterback in for Heritage. This is going to be number 7, Devon Granville. Granville hands it off to Isaiah James. James breaking several tackles, and he's fighting his way through. He's still going. He breaks out, and he finds his way into the end zone.
Fought off about 24 Fort Vancouver Trappers there.
Impressive run there by Isaiah James. I'll be excited to see the replay on that because I think he broke 5-6 different tackles. I thought for sure he was going to be brought down, and he continued to keep his legs moving and just firing through.
That's going to extend the lead a little bit more here. Yeah, and if you're the quarterback, Devon Granville, getting your first opportunity and your teammate just runs it in, like, come on, man. Give me a shot here.
I think we're going to see him again here before the night's over. There was a penalty on this extra point attempt. Looks like Heritage had some late personnel changes, so this may be backed up just a tad.
Isaiah James, 2 rushes, 2 touchdowns. So he's on pace to score 100% of the time he touches the ball.
That's a good conversion rate. All right, reattempt here for Heritage for the extra point. Ramirez sends that one up through the uprights to make it 49-0 for the Heritage Timberwolves. Here's that replay. Granville hands it off to James, and James just fights his way up through the middle, finds a seam, breaks 2 tackles here. He spins, breaks another 2 here.
5.
A 5th one here. He just keeps his leg moving.
I would almost count that as 2 right there. That was at least 6.
Yeah,
that was incredible.
I think he broke through 6 different tackles. He certainly earned that score for himself. Great job, young man.
We're going to see another Heritage kickoff here. This is going to be Bunnell on the return yet again. Heritage definitely looking to stamp their name here on the 3A standings early in the year, looking for one of those 3 playoff spots.
The kick is up and away. Bennell ready to receive. He's going to field this one right at the 7-yard line, and he makes his way upfield. He takes it up to the left, trying to find a seam. He breaks out around the corner, and ultimately he's going to get stopped right around the 22-yard line.
Another good return, though. Again, decisive, confident. That's what you like to see there.
He's been very consistent tonight, getting for it right out to that 20, 25-yard mark on all of his returns. All right, we'll see what Logan DeWitt can do with his Fort Vancouver offense. Hopefully get a little bit of momentum going. DeWitt hands this off to Paez. Paez able to go ahead and get a gain of 2 out of this. That ball's going to be spotted on the 25-yard line.
Looks like we've got some new names in here for Heritage as well. Jonas Ferguson Alex Reyes, cornerbacks in. We see Ashton Bringman on the inside. We've got Suhab Kudas right in the middle here, number 11.
Duas hands this off to Payas. Payas bounces this one out to the right-hand side. He's going to get another short gain. Looks like they're going to give him 4 yards, 3 yards. So that's going to turn this into 3rd and 6.
You see that clock continuing to run here as well. Already down to about 4.5 left here in the 3rd quarter.
Duis evades pressure. He fires this one out to the right-hand side. Intended target being number 21.
Bringman immediately in the backfield for Fort Vancouver, and it almost looked like Braden Oster almost picked off another here. Got another hand on the ball.
That was close. That's the first time Jess Lorenzano was targeted tonight. Duis doing a decent job that time to find some space outside of the pocket to avoid some pressure. Just unable to make the completion. It's going to set up 4th and 5. They're going to bring the punt team out. Javier Bennell is the punter. He sends this one. This one's a little bit better of a punt. And they're going to be able to send this ball into Heritage territory. Heritage is going to take the ball over at their own 43-yard line.
Deepest field position we've seen from Heritage in a while. Kind of curious what play they draw up here. I would imagine we're going to get another look at Devon Granville. Yeah, there he is, number 7, come out on the field here.
Got a new running back in the game as well, number 45, Colton Wheeler, lined up just to the right side of Granville. Granville keeps this one, rolls out to the right, cuts back up inside. He's finding a seam. He's made his way up through the middle. Ultimately, he gets chopped down at the Fort Vancouver 44-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down.
You could tell from the get-go he was not going to give that ball up. He wanted to get some yards after his teammate took that 20-yard run in last play.
He certainly did. That was a good run there for Granville. Granville finds this one out into the open field.
That's Oster with the ball here.
That is Oster. Oster finds his way upfield, ultimately getting taken down right at the 23-yard line.
But also breaking maybe another 4 or 5 tackles on his way down. Looked like a pretty harsh tackle.
Yeah, he got hit pretty good. Hopefully he's okay. He's up and moving, so that's good. It's good to see.
Puts Heritage at about the 23-yard line is what it looks like.
Even with the mercy rule, they will go ahead and stop the clock on scores and injuries and timeouts. Yeah, Oster taking a pretty big hit there. Just kind of got folded.
Better to just be cautious here too. Just first game of the year, let's just make sure we're all good. Let's get some more reps in for some of these younger guys. Oster having a huge game on the defensive side, first catch of the day right there. But they're going to need him if they are going to compete for one of these playoff spots.
Yeah. Looks like Oster They've got him up, and he is walking on his own power, so that's great to see. Hopefully his night might be done, but it looks like he's going to be okay.
Teammate's going to show him some love here. Heck of a game from the sophomore Oster.
All right, as we resume play here, Heritage is going to have 1st and 10 on the 23-yard line. Devon Granville is the quarterback. So you got Colton Wheeler. And there may be an equipment issue.
Oh, we're going to bring Daly back into the game.
This will be for a play until equipment issues fixed.
Granville can just not catch a break, man. We got to see some more Granville minutes out there.
This is handed off to Colton Wheeler. Wheeler finds his way up the middle of the field. He's going to get a gain of about 8 yards, it looks like. Might be 7. We'll see where the ball's spotted. Yeah, it looks like 7 yards. That's going to bring up 2nd and 3.
Looks like we have another new quarterback here.
Yeah, this is Barron Graham, number 12. He is a junior for the T-Wolves. He hands that ball off to Wheeler, who just got hammered behind the line of scrimmage. He's going to pop up, be okay, but that's going to be a loss of yards.
Jonathan Ortiz just rocks running back there for Heritage. Third and about 6, it looks like. 30 seconds left here in the third quarter.
Barron Graham has Colton Wheeler lined up just to his right. He drops back in a 5-step drop. He lets it fly, trying to find his receiver out there in the back left. That was actually I don't have a number for him. I apologize. Would like to give that young man credit.
Jess Lorenzana with the breakup there. Good defense from Fort Vancouver, and that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter.
All right, we're going to go ahead and switch sides here. Heritage will go ahead and start the fourth quarter, sitting fourth and 6. So a lot of the same that we saw from the first half.
It is. I am curious to see, I would imagine they give Ramirez the opportunity to kick another long field goal here. He had a long extra point in the first quarter. I'm curious what his range is as far as a field goal goes. This would be about, if my math is correct, about a 36-yarder.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see that. He is out there on the field, so we'll see where his range lies. It could be a good weapon. You don't see a lot of long field goal attempts in the high school level of football.
First game of the year too. Let's limit test. If you're a coach, let's see what we can do. Yeah, it looks like they are going to do just that as well.
It's going to be about a 36-yard field goal. Jacob Karpriuk is going to go ahead and be the holder.
And Karpiak with that fumble return in the first half too. So if this does get loose, he is capable of finding the end zone.
And Ramirez sends it And it does go
No
through
need
the
to.
uprights. He had about 2 yards to spare. So I think we found that litmus test.
His range is 38 yards. We know that 38 yards exactly.
So good field goal there by Ramirez. And that's going to take the score up to 49. No. That should take the score. Yeah, right? Did I do my math right? No.
No, it looks like we are missing 3 points for Heritage. Should be 7 TDs and a field goal. Should be 52.
Should be 52. They just haven't put it up on the board yet. I lost track. It happens. We've got cobwebs too. It's week 1.
Let's see if the scorekeepers get this corrected. That'll be a fun wrinkle here throughout the evening.
All right, we've got Bunnell back, ready to receive this kickoff once again. We'll see if he can go ahead and break out and get a little bit longer return. He's been doing well tonight.
I would just like to see can keep up the confidence, man. Just no hesitation. Let's build on this a little bit. Let's see what happens here.
And he's not going to be able to go ahead and field that one. That goes back into the end zone. So Fort Vancouver is going to take this ball over at the 20-yard line. We are starting the 4th quarter. We do have a running clock. So the clock will start as of the first snap. Well, they've started it already. So the clock is a running clock due to the Washington State Mercy rule.
And again, we're starting to see some new faces on the Heritage side here.
And Duas fumbles this ball. He is able to go ahead and recover, but that's going to set the Fort Vancouver Trappers back. And that ball spotted right at the 7-yard line. Looks like that ball was just knocked out of his hands by his halfback, Roman Paez.
Yeah, Edward Ryan there, it looks like got a hand on that. May have popped that one loose. Back to about their 7.5-yard line.
That's what it looks like, yeah. Duas has Paez in the backfield. He's got Bunnell lined up in the slot.
May have slipped a little bit, tough to tell there.
Looks like he just lost his footing, so that's going to take him back even further. Now the ball spotted on the 2.5-yard line, or 2-yard line is where the officials have spotted that ball. Brings up a long, 3rd and long. Duas rolls out right. He's got followers. He's able to go ahead, and he hit his receiver in the hands. It just wasn't able to be brought in. Intended receiver there, number 21, Jess Lorenzana.
Fort Vancouver now staring down another 4th down situation. This one deep in their own territory, starting on the 2-yard line. We're looking at about 4th and 28. Not a ton of room for a punter back there either.
There's not. We'll see what they decide to do. They're in a tough position. It does look like they've got Bunnell, their punter, lined up about a yard from the back of the end zone. He's able to get it off. Punt is high. And it takes a slight Fort Vancouver bounce, and it's going to go ahead and be down right at the 28-yard line in Fort Vancouver territory.
You could tell Karpiak was about to take a page out of the McGraw book there.
He was.
Try to run that one in.
So it's going to be Heritage football, 1st and 10 on the 28-yard line in Fort Vancouver territory. looks like we've got Devon Granville back out there as the quarterback.
Limited action, Devon Granville has looked pretty solid out there.
Granville, a junior.
$13-yard rush, 1-for-1 passing, and 21 yards. So limited action, just a couple of snaps, but let's see what he can do here.
We've got Presley Pittman lined up as the running back. Granville's going to he's going to keep it. He bounces out to the right-hand side. He tries to find a seam. He's able to get through. He's ultimately brought down at the 5-yard line. That's a big run for Granville. And that's going to bring up 1st and goal. He's taken every opportunity he can get. Here's a replay. See it here. He just bounces right out to the outside. Too. Yeah.
He had Fort Vancouver fooled. He had us fooled.
Good run there. Granville hands this one off to Pittman. Pittman's go ahead and find the end zone. That's going to put another 6 points up on the board for the Heritage Timberwolves.
That is the Timberwolves' 5th rushing touchdown of the night, split amongst 4 different rushers. So several players getting some opportunities here and taking advantage of those.
Yeah, that takes the score to 58-0. Oh, and this snap was not great. It's ultimately picked up by Kapariak, and he's able to go ahead and I don't know. I think there might have been a whistle.
Tough to tell. I mean, I don't see any flags out there, but
we've got a holding penalty. We got a holding penalty on the Timberwolves. So
the flag blended in with the yellow line on the field. Perfect. Great throw from the umpire. It's going to bring it back pretty far. I mean, we're looking at.
So it should be a 10-yard penalty, so it should be sitting right on the 12-yard line, which it is. They're going to try this extra point again. We know this is in the range of Ramirez. See if we can't get a better snap. The hold's good. Ramirez puts it through the uprights. That's going to go ahead and make it 59. We've got 6 minutes and 15 seconds and counting left in this football game. Heritage is winning decisively over the Fort Vancouver Trappers.
Something to keep track of, too. It's hard to find an accurate kicker in high school. Typically, there's soccer players pulled from the soccer team. It's different seasons, right? So, but Ramirez, 8 for 8 with a long field goal, a couple of long extra points. If that is something you have in your pocket, that is going to be a huge, huge card you can play down the path.
It turns it into an offensive weapon that a lot of teams don't have. A lot of times, and we'll see it throughout the season, that it could be 4th and 2 sitting on the 12-yard line, and they're not taking the field goal. They're going for it, right? So because they don't have a kicker that is consistent enough to put one through the uprights like Ramirez has tonight.
Yeah, something to keep an eye on throughout the season. With how tight we expect things to be in the middle of the divisional race here, that'll have an impact on at least one game.
Yeah. Bunnell fields this one right at the goal line. He's trying to make his way cross field. He's ultimately going to go ahead and get his progress stopped at the 17-yard line.
Colton Wheeler, Alex Reyes, it looks like, took him down.
So the Trappers going to go ahead and take this one over at their own 18-yard line, 1st and 10. 4:30 left in the game. Duas has Paez back in the backfield with him. Duas keeps it. He rolls out to the right, outside of the pocket. He's looking downfield. That's a great completion. That's going to be for a first down. Receiver was Javier Bennell.
And we talked about that too. We've seen moments of brilliance from Fort Vancouver, and that was a football play right there. That was nice to see. That was decisive, confident quarterback play right there. Great throw, great catch. I mean, we've seen a couple of these slip through the receiver's fingers, but all around, just a great play from Fort Vancouver.
Yeah. Bennell checks out. In comes Javion Warren in his place. Duas rolls out to the right again. This time he has nowhere to go. He throws that one away. It's going to be second down and 10.
Just under 3 minutes here for Vancouver, second down. They need a first down to close the game with their possession. See if they can do it here.
That was a good run there by Paez. It's being a gain of 9. It brings up 3rd and 1.
We talked a lot about the penalties in the first half too, and very limited. These teams they've definitely thrown away the nerves. They're much more in it now, very focused on the game, and hardly any penalties.
Yeah, they've certainly settled down, right? And they've started to settle in, and they've gained a little bit of rhythm. Nerves have settled. That's a great call out. Duas hands this off to Paez. Paez is going to go ahead and fight for any yardage he can get. Ultimately, he's going to be brought down and lose. Well, they're not. Just going to come out to be a no gain.
Took 7 Heritage players to bring him down too.
He's a good-sized kid. I mean, you just take a look at him, and he certainly passes the look test.
Got a minute 10 left here in the game. Fort Vancouver, 4th down. 17 seconds on the play clock, plenty of time. Even this is not something we saw in the first half, where typically Fort Vancouver was waiting till the very end of the play to get going.
Yeah, they were. Big stop there from the Heritage defensive line. That's going to be a turnover on downs. And it looks like Heritage may be able to go ahead and get one more play off. We'll see. They haven't started the play clock yet. So game clock's 3 seconds shy of the play clock, so they don't have to run another play.
I'd imagine we're going to end up with a 59-0 final here. And it looks like that's what the teams are looking to do here.
Yeah. So, Kyle, really, that's going to go ahead and that's going to wrap up game 1 of week 1. Mm-hmm. Any final thoughts?
I like seeing progression from both teams from the first half. I'm curious to see how both teams perform next week after kind of getting the first game jitters out of the way. So, should be a good one. What about you?
Yeah, I'm excited to see Heritage continue through. We'll see them a couple times this season, so they're coming up later on in the year. For our next game, we've got Union and Evergreen. That should be a good one, a fun little rivalry that's developed over the past couple of years. Fort Vancouver, they fought tough. They've got they're making progress. They're a very young team, but good luck to them in their season as they continue on in the 1A Trico League. But yeah, if you're here for the 7 o'clock game, Evergreen versus Union, we will be starting here in a few minutes. There's a mandatory warm-up time for both teams, so come back with us. We'll be here, channel 328 on Comcast or on YouTube at EPS Sports Network. I'm Ryan Vassbinder, here with Kyle Bleeke. We'll see you in a bit.